You've probably heard this term floating around everywhere lately, RevOps. It's showing up in job titles, it's being talked about in boardrooms, and it's promising to be this secret engine for business growth. But what does revenue operations actually mean? Well, today we're going to break it down and demystify it once and for all. RevOps is one of those terms that's suddenly everywhere, right? But what is it? It kind of feels like the definition changes depending on who you talk to. So that's what we're here to do. We're going to solve this business buzzword mystery and give you a clear idea of what we're really talking about. All right, let's just get right to it and answer the big question. What is revenue operations? And hey, if you're a little fuzzy on the details, you are in very good company. This confusion is so common that it's even managed to stump the editors at one of the biggest websites on the entire planet.
Yeah, you heard that right. In a discussion about a potential article on RevOps, a Wikipedia editor basically threw their hands up, calling it out for being laden with meaningless corporate jargon. I mean, if the folks over at Wikipedia are scratching their heads, it's no wonder the rest of us are a little lost. So let's clear things up.
Okay, so to really get a handle on RevOps, you gotta look at its roots. And that means we need to talk about what came before it, sales operations. Think of sales ops as the ancestor of RevOps. It's the perfect starting point to understand this evolution.
So what did sales ops do? Well, for the longest time, they were basically the pit crew for the sales team. Their whole job was to make sure the sales reps could sell more and more efficiently. They handled the processes, the tools, the reporting, all the back-end stuff so reps could just focus on selling. It's super important, but its focus is intentionally very, very narrow.
Okay, this table right here, it does a fantastic job of showing the jump from the old way to the new way. First up, let's talk scope. Sales ops? It lived only in the sales department. But RevOps? Whoa, it brings sales, marketing, and customer success all under one roof. Then look at the primary goal. It shifts from just making the sales team more efficient to aligning all the teams that touch revenue. And finally, the metrics totally evolve. We go from just caring about win rates to looking at the big picture stuff, like customer lifetime value. You see the pattern here, right? We're moving from fine-tuning one little part of the machine to optimizing the entire engine that drives revenue.
So you might be wondering, how in the world do you get sales, marketing, and customer success, three teams that historically have their own goals and their own data, to act like one cohesive team? Well, it all comes down to data, specifically a core idea called the single source of truth. And a single source of truth, or SOST as you'll hear it called, is, well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. The idea is to get rid of the chaos, No more the marketing team pulling one number while the sales team has a completely different one. It's about creating one central, trusted place for all your data. So everyone, and I mean everyone, is working from the exact same playbook. And when you do this, the payoff is huge. Suddenly, collaboration gets way easier because everyone can see what's going on. The data is actually accurate for once, and all that centralized information just makes processes simpler. But the biggest win? You end up creating a way better, much more seamless experience for your customers, all because your teams are finally making decisions based on the same solid data. Okay, so we've built the foundation, right? We have all our data in one clean, reliable place. Now it's time to get smart with it. We're going to layer on some powerful technology, and this is where a category called revenue intelligence comes into play. Think of revenue intelligence, or RI, as the AI brain of the whole RevOps system. These platforms plug right into that single source of truth we just talked about, and they start analyzing everything. Every phone call, every email, every single meeting with a customer. Their job is to dig through all that noise and find the hidden gems, the insights that actually matter. And this is what it actually looks like in the real world. So you're looking at an RI dashboard. See how the AI is flagging potential problems with a deal? It's noticed the prospect has gone silent, and a really important person just declined a meeting. This isn't a gut feeling. It's the system telling a sales rep, hey, pay attention, this deal needs help right now. It's data giving you a clear direction. Now, when you can analyze data like this, it leads to one of the biggest, boldest promises of RevOps and revenue intelligence, ridiculously accurate forecasting. But, like with any shiny new tech, we've got to separate the hype from the reality. So first, the promise. The companies that build these platforms, they're talking about getting your sales forecast to 95% accuracy, or even higher. That's a wild claim. They say by looking at all your past deals and what's happening in real time with buyers, they can predict what's going to close with a level of precision we've never seen before. But here's the catch. That intelligence part,
It's not magic. It's actually really complicated. Under the hood, it's all about which AI models you're using, and picking the right model for your business, that is a massive, massive challenge, and it changes everything. And this is where it gets really interesting. Research actually shows there's no single best AI for this kind of work. It's a balancing act. You've got these super complex models like neural networks, but they can be really sensitive to noisy data. Then you have simpler models, which, believe it or not, often do a better job with the messy, real-world data that most companies are dealing with. The takeaway here is that just having AI isn't enough. You need the right kind of AI for your specific situation.
All right, so let's zoom out and put all the pieces together. What happens when you bring together those aligned teams, that single source of data, and this smart AI technology? You get something much bigger than just an ops team. You get a fully unified revenue engine.
And this image of a flywheel, it's the perfect way to picture it. See how it's a loop that feeds itself? Your data and forecasts lead to better coaching for your team. That coaching improves their skills, which means they have better conversations with customers. Then revenue intelligence analyzes those conversations, pulls out new insights, and feeds that right back into the system. The whole wheel just keeps spinning, getting faster and smarter with every rotation. And that, right there, is the big idea behind all of this. RevOps isn't some back-office janitor job, just cleaning up spreadsheets. It's about taking the whole idea of operations and moving it from the back room to the boardroom. It becomes a strategic, forward-looking driver of real business growth. So I want to leave you with a final thought. As AI continues to automate more and more of the simple stuff, just having the tech isn't going to be enough. Pretty soon, everyone will have the tech. The real advantage, the thing that separates the winners from the losers, is going to be your strategy. So the question for every leader out there is this: how will a truly unified revenue strategy, the very soul of RevOps, be the difference maker that separates the businesses that thrive from the ones that just survive? Thanks for digging into this with us.